Former President Donald Trump has never been one to shy away from a fight, especially when it comes to trade. His latest target? European wine and spirits. Trump has threatened to slap a hefty 200% tariff on these imports, potentially sparking a transatlantic trade war. This aggressive move is a response to the European Union's planned 50% tariff on American whiskey. The EU tariff, set to take effect on April 1, 2025, is itself retaliation for the Trump administration's earlier tariffs on steel and aluminum imports from Europe. This brewing trade war has sent shockwaves through the global alcohol industry. Wine sellers and importers in the US are bracing for the impact, warning that a 200% tariff would be devastating. The price of European wines and spirits, already considered premium products, would skyrocket, potentially putting them out of reach for many American consumers. But the pain wouldn't be limited to consumers. American businesses, particularly those involved in importing, distributing and selling European wines, would face significant challenges. Many rely heavily on European wines for their revenue, and the tariff could force them to raise prices, reduce staff, or even close their doors. The situation highlights the interconnectedness of the global economy and the potential for unintended consequences when trade disputes erupt. To understand the potential impact of these tariffs, it's helpful to look at the numbers. The US is a major importer of European alcoholic beverages. In 2022, the US imported $26.6 billion worth of foreign-produced alcohol, with European Union countries accounting for a significant portion of that figure. Italy, known for its wines, accounted for 7% of total US alcohol consumption in 2023, while France, famous for its wines, cognac and vodka, accounted for 5%. These figures underscore the importance of the European market to the US alcohol industry. A 200% tariff would significantly disrupt this trade, potentially leading to shortages and price hikes for American consumers. Moreover, it could harm the US economy by reducing competition and innovation in the alcoholic beverage market. The proposed tariff has drawn sharp criticism from both sides of the Atlantic. European officials and industry representatives have expressed concern about the potential for a trade war, arguing that it would harm businesses and consumers on both continents. They argue that the tariffs are unjustified and counterproductive, and they have urged the US to reconsider its stance. This is not the first time tariffs have been used as a weapon in international disputes. In 2020, China imposed tariffs as high as 218% on Australian wine, a move widely seen as retaliation for Australia's call for an independent investigation into the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic. The impact on the Australian wine industry was swift and severe. Exports to China, previously a major market, plummeted by 90%. The Chinese tariffs devastated many Australian wineries, forcing some out of business and causing significant job losses. While the tariffs were eventually lifted in 2024, the Australian wine industry is still grappling with the after effects. This example serves as a stark reminder of the potential economic damage that tariffs can inflict. The current situation between the US and the EU bears striking similarities to the China-Australia wine dispute. Both cases involve the use of tariffs as a political tool with potentially devastating consequences for businesses and consumers. The US-EU situation is further complicated by the fact that both economies are major players in the global wine and spirits trade. As the date for the EU's whiskey tariff approaches, uncertainty hangs heavy over the transatlantic alcohol trade. Some US wine stores, anticipating price hikes, are holding sales on European wines, while others are hesitant to make purchasing decisions amidst the uncertainty. Meanwhile, some French winemakers have already cancelled shipments to the US, fearing that their products will be caught in the crossfire. The proposed tariffs have ignited a debate about the role of free trade in the global economy. Proponents of free trade argue that it fosters competition, lowers prices for consumers, and promotes economic growth. Opponents counter that free trade can lead to job losses in developed countries and that tariffs are sometimes necessary to protect domestic industries from unfair competition. The outcome of this brewing trade war remains uncertain. It is unclear whether the Biden administration will follow through with Trump's threat or whether a negotiated solution can be found. What is clear, however, is that the stakes are high. The outcome of this dispute will have significant implications for businesses, consumers, and the future of transatlantic trade relations. Only time will tell whether this trade spat will result in a mutually beneficial resolution or leave a bitter aftertaste for all involved.